Yo, this is the Ancient Texan. I'm gonna go back to an idea that happened in the 1980s. A book was written called Megatrends, and it looked at those forces that were so big in our society that they kind of dictated the future. A megatrend is a large scale, long term, and transformative force that has a profound impact on the global economy, society, and culture, including, and most important of all, your life. Here's the forces that I think are going to dictate our life in the future. And I'll warn you in advance that this is really depressing. The biggest mega force in our future as Americans is our national debt. It's going to destroy our savings and our future as we refuse to deal with it. Um, we're going to instead print money, and our currency is going to deflate, and the cost of everything is going to rise. I think anybody that looks at the current national debt and the way we're doing it can't reach any other conclusion. The mathematics are just too strong. Another force that's going on underneath the surface is resource depletion. Now, we kind of ignore this one, but it's real and it makes an effect on your well being. Um, Resource depletion. And in what I've written, I've used copper to illustrate this, but it's dozen metals we're short of, and all of them are going to have the same impact. The cost of living is going to rise for us, um, and inflation is going to increase because of resource depletion. The third big effect that's going to affect our life is the military industrial complex. I know you're going to say it's always been bad and sucked up a lot of money. I'm saying it's going to get worse. Our weapon systems are going to become more expensive because of resource depletion and our lack of supply chains, and the fact that China realizes they control our future because they control the supply chains. All those are going to add together to make the military industrial complex more expensive, and couple that with other countries in the world realizing they're short of resources and doubling down, keeping resources at home, um, demanding more for their resources. It's all going to loop back on us. Our military industrial complex is going to get more desperate and try to fix more problems with force instead of less. Iran is just an example, Venezuela. Our troops will end up going to Asia and all over the world and suffering defeat because we haven't yet recognized that the world has changed. Demographics: as our population declines, the value of our assets, like our homes and cars and all that, will also decline as the demand for them declines. The population gets older, there's less young people working, there's more taxes to be paid to take care of the old people. Um, it's not good. The threat of nuclear weapons is another megaforce, and I'm afraid with each defeat, the U.S. suffers and Russia suffers, the more likely that both of those countries, ours and Russia, will resort to nuclear weapons to try to balance out what they've lost. Um, I don't see Russia and the US making rational decisions when they start losing. I think they'll make stupid decisions and start using nuclear weapons. And the fear of that's going to be hanging over us and affecting us and our actions and our future, even if a bomb is never dropped. And finally, the area that's going to come together, the megatrend that's going to show up as a canary in the coal mine, is the cost of electricity. All the other megatrends are going to drive the cost of electricity up. Copper going to be short. We're going to be spending our money on the military, not grid infrastructure. There's going to be less young people to afford the copper we need for our grid, expanding the grid, power plants, fixing an aging economy with aging plants and bridges, uh, all of it requiring resources. It will accelerate our electric costs, and then top of that, AI, which is promising the some salvation. Uh, and I admit it's a good tool, but the people that really need AI are the people that have the supply chains, and they need to optimize their supply chains. Our standard of living depends on our supply chains, and instead of developing the supply chains, we're spending the money on AI and power centers or data centers, which will not increase our standard of living. We need to be working on our supply chains and developing them. So, a 10-year project, and instead, we're going to spend the first 5 years just pouring money into AI centers. And that's also accelerating the cost of electricity. So, I think the future is going to be driven by our national debt, resource depletion, increased reliance on the military industrial complex, and the increased cost of converting our military into a modern force. Our demographics are going to mean less people, young working people, are here to pay for all these costs, and there's going to be more old people to feed, like myself. And the threat of nuclear weapons is going to not only cause a large emotional stress, it's going to make it hard for anybody to believe in the future and develop money for the future, to develop money, invest money for the future. So, as all this goes down, I want you to watch the cost of electricity over the next 5 years. It's going to confirm how fast it goes up. And look to California, they're at 30 cents a kilowatt hour. Only place bucking the trend is Texas, and I don't know how much longer they can do it with a currency that's going to go south. And I think the Democrats are going to make a inroads in Texas. And Texas, as business-friendly business climate, is necessary for it to expand its business base and its electric grid. And I think the Democrats coming in power will hurt that, because the Republicans, with their control, um, have done nothing to address the megatrends. And in fact, they've exaggerated the problem with the military going into Iran. Uh, they claim they want to work on reshoring, but the kind of effort and money to make that happen is not really happening. And they're driving our national debt up higher with complete lack of willingness to tax the rich. So I think the Democrats and the Republicans are both working together to ensure um, these megatrends are going to have a very negative effect on America. California is an example of what happens with too much regulation to the cost of living, cost of electricity. Our national politics are an example of when the Republicans fail to deal with the debt. So between the two of them, I don't see how either one of them has dealt with the debt, resource depletion, the rising cost of the military industrial complex, demographics. And there I would blame the Republicans more on not recognizing the fact that we need immigrants. It's just stupid not to realize that we need to be increasing the amount of immigrants. Now, I'll give the Republicans credit. We need to be selecting which ones are coming into the U.S. and be proactive in encouraging the people we need to come into America. But we definitely need immigrants. And as they decrease, our GDP will decrease. It's no magic. Our system works on numbers, on people. If you don't increase people, you don't increase GDP. Not for any sustained period of time. Anyway, watch the electric cost and then think about all these megatrends. I'm going to hit some of these megatrends harder in subsequent podcasts. But we're in trouble as a nation, and we're not dealing with the big issues that are affecting us. Anyway, this is the ancient Texan, a little depressed, but still hoping that we can get our act together as a nation. And as you can tell, I'm not real happy with any political party. And I suspect both political parties are going to be unhappy with what I'm saying. Luckily, I have a small audience, so who cares what my audience thinks? Anyway, this is the Ancient Texan, wishing you a brighter future than I can see for you at the moment. Namaste.